Yes, YouTube. It is Tuesday, the 30th of December. I've come into the office because I just wanted to kind of do a little bit of a clean up. I'm not actually back until the 5th of December, but I have pretty much just decided in this moment that I'm going to do a weekly video log, pretty much just talking about what I do behind the scenes. I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's probably not going to be the most exciting thing out there, but it's definitely going to be a key insight to how I run a 7-figure business, and how I do like to think I've got quite a lot of freedom and stuff with what I do at the moment. Don't get me wrong, it's taken me a long time to get there, and I learned a few lessons last year, you could say that. But yeah, also the iPhone 17 is absolutely mint. You can just literally click a button and then it's now a landscape video. So yeah, it's not gonna be perfect, it's not gonna be clean, but I'm just gonna show you a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So this behind is what I've been doing today. I've also been doing a lot on my calendar, which I'll talk through in a second, some KPI tracking, and then some formatting on emails and everything else. And I'm also going to be doing a weekly live podcast style consultation with clients as well, what's going to go onto YouTube as well. So it's going to be 2 episodes per week. One's going to be just completely not relaxed, just talking shit mostly with me at the moment. Like you'll probably find in the next 5-10 minutes, and then the next one will be a lot more like business centric and see what I actually kind of do. But I think this is really important. So the first thing that I do when I come into planning a new year is I use this master operator timeline. So what you can see on it is all color coordinated. So everything is green is when I'm going away. I'm going to talk about the importance of that, because otherwise you're going to hit burnout really, really quickly. I've then got the middle, which is orange and blue. So that's when I'm going to be doing live workshops, when I've got client community events. And then on the red, that's where I'll be having some free lead magnets and resources and stuff that I'll be putting out there. But this is really important to make sure, right, that your personal life and commitments and everything else does not get in the way of business, or business does not get in the way of personal life and commitments. I cannot begin to express the importance of that. Like, people will set up launches or commitments or other random shit, right, and then they end up having a holiday which completely not gets in the way. So what you'll see here is like, look, there's a lot of green zone there. Like, look, I'm in business to earn money and help people and do all that, but I'm also in business to have a life. Like, if I was going to look at what I value more than anything now, if someone were going to turn around to me and went, right, we'll double your business, but you'll have 1/5 less free time and freedom and travel and challenges, I wouldn't take it. I generally would not take money over freedom and peace at this point in my career. Not a chance in hell. So in terms of my fun calendar, because I think this is really important, like, you got to look at your year and think, I'm actually looking forward to this. So you can see there I've got a Poland hike, so I'll be doing like an expo in Poland, climbing a mountain, going skiing. Don't even know how to ski yet, I'm figuring that out next week. Dubai in March, I've got a Scotland hike in April, I've got a stag do in May. Won't be video logging that one. I've got Tattersall Lakes. I'm also going to be away in August on a family holiday. I've got a cycling trip in July. I've then got a September, which is going to be Dubai again. And then I've got Centre Parks. And also in the middle of that in June, we are going to Kenya. So I got us a 2-week private safari to Kenya for me, Stacey and Remy, and my mum as well. She's coming now as well. So do you know what I mean? Like, the reason I'm talking about this now is, like, if I didn't have that in my calendar, I won't work. Swear to God, I won't work. If it wasn't for me looking at my year and thinking, do you know what, I can't wait for that year, this, for the sake of just getting more money at the end of each month, it would not be viable for me in any way, shape or form. Like, and I think this is somewhere where people really kind of fall short on. It's like, what are you actually working towards? Why are you gonna, so for example, for me there, I've got, I don't know, 27 days from start of January until I have my first trip. What's going to make me blast my absolute arse off? What is going to make me get up at stupid o'clock in the morning? What's going to make me work really hard? It's the green zone. It's the shit that I'm actually looking forward to in my calendar. And the stuff that I've spoke about there, yeah, it's quite expensive trips, but I've not always done stuff like this. Like, whether it's camping, going for a walk, or going on a date night, or booking a caravan, I don't care. Like, if you don't have that green zone stuff in your diary, like, shit just starts to fall apart so fast. I genuinely cannot begin to express the importance of mapping out your personal and fun stuff. So, like, even like me and my coach Dan this morning, like, we've set some little challenges. So I want to run 42 kilometer, which is a marathon, not in an event, but I just want to say that I can run a marathon. I'm going to be preparing for cycling in France. I'm going to be preparing for climbing mountains. I've got some strength goals. I've got a meal prep company coming in at the start of January, so I can actually look after myself. But all of these personal things are so fucking important, right? Because one, you need to be a top level operator. So you need to be on it with your sleep, on it with your training, on it with your routine, on it with everything. But also a top level operator is someone who looks at the diary and has stuff to look forward to. And then everything else from that point is really easy. So something else that I'm doing with the community this year is a monthly event. So we've got 6 small business events across the EU and across the UK, and we've also got 6 socials. So one thing that I wanted to do was bring through like getting people into a bit of a new social situation. So I've got stuff like ice baths and breathwork sessions, climbing Ben Nevis together. We've got go-karting in January, or it might be a Christmas market, or a beefer in summer. Like all these different things is like where I'm at with my career now, where I want to develop people at a higher level than just teaching them business information, because the deeper that I have got into this, genuinely, like working with 4-figure, 5-figure, 6-figure, 7-figure and multi-7-figure business owners, it always comes back down to being a top level operator. How do you manage stress? How do you handle social situations? Like, what are your confidence levels like? Can you actually face challenges like climbing a mountain or getting into an ice bath? Like, can you do all this type of stuff? Because the business side is really, really easy once you've got your personal side on lockdown, right? Alongside that, I've also got a few targets with what we're doing with upgrades. So if I flicked onto my diary, that's something I've been doing today. So as you can see with my diary there, that is absolutely just stacked out, and it's nowhere near completely done. But a realization and a reflection that I had from 2025 to 2026 was, I can't operate at the intensity that I have been doing by getting up at 3:30 in the morning to train, walk the dogs, try and see my daughter, and then get to the office for calls for 8 a.m. So one of the first things I've done in 2026 is start my calls from 9 a.m. So that basically just means that I'll still get up at around 4:30, but I'll get an extra 45 minutes to 60 minutes sleep in the morning, because I found myself burning out quite a lot last year, which you'll find if you do become a parent and do try to do mad shit like this. And then on top of that, just like I've got set structure. So it's like Monday, zone 2 bike, gym session, conditioning, gym session, boxing, run, walk, when I'm showering, when I'm traveling, when I'm walking the dogs. You might look at this thinking, oh my God, that's way too anal. But the thing is, how are you supposed to be a parent, a great husband, run a 7-figure business, run a team, look after your mental health if you do not have that shit on lockdown, right? That there is the single most important element of every single thing that I do inside my business, without question. That shit there is 10 times better than any AI system that I have built and spent tens upon thousands of pounds built in. That there is what allows me to do what I do. Simple as that, right? Next thing that I've got to be looking at from there, so I've got 4 hours booked in per week, so I'm going to be now layering out the next phase of AI. We're also bringing paid ads and paid ad account management into the actual offer of what we're doing, because 2026 is definitely going to be quite competitive for ads, and that's because of AI, and that's because of everything that's going out on that front. So paid ads is something that we're prioritizing next year. So I've got 4 hours in per week to be looking at next course updates and next curriculum updates and everything else on that front. And I'm also really taking social media seriously this year. This year will be, without question, the year where I grow my Instagram account the most, without question. And the rationale for that is because I'm going to prioritize it. And I've also tried and tested a lot of ways that I actually want to run my social media. And I'm very confident with how I'm about to do stuff. And that's just going to be very raw and very authentic. And I always say this to my clients, the biggest regret that I've got in business is nothing to do with investments or lack of investments or things that have gone wrong. The biggest regret that I've got in business is not just operating everything completely from my personal brand. Again, when you look at this video right now, I'm pretty sure there's not that many business mentors out there just sat here looking like a scrubber and swearing on YouTube, but that's me. And I work with some absolutely incredible people who really trust me with the life and the visions. And I think that that's something that I wish that I'd really gone more in line with at the start, because all the likes of your Sean Cases and Sarah Catsons and Beth Dobsons and all them, so all they've ever said to me, Ben, just be yourself. But it's very different when you're in the market that I am. But you're going to see that on social media this year, and it's going to be starting with YouTube, and this is going to be the first video log that I'm obviously going to be doing. So from that point, right, so I've looked at this. So guys, like if you're not a client of mine and you want any of this, just message me on Instagram and just say, can I have a template of the 2026 master operator, or for example, time blocking diary. That's pretty simple, guys. Like I'm sure you can do that. And then next thing from that is I'll basically use this KPI tracking sheet. So this will go on and on. So let's finish it off. But then it's basically got every single week and then every single structure. And this is what clients have got access to all this. But I'll then custom design. So it's like, right, in January, what have I got? What's coming up? Right, sweet. My first major thing is going to be a live webinar at 19th of January. And also know that I've got a lead magnet on the 5th of January. So that's going to be where I will do my design work and creative stuff and stay ahead, and also make sure that the team are in sync with setting up the opt-in pages, setting up nurturing sequences. We've got the right creatives and we've selected the right budget for what we're going to run on ads. And then basically all we do is just take it week to week. Every single Monday morning, come in, run, right, how are profile ads going? How's middle of funnel and bottom of funnel going? What's personal media production going like with me? What's email performance? What's sales? What's live webinars? What's the personal company media? Results retention and absolutely everything from that point. All right, so for me, they're the pinpoint most important avenues of absolutely every single part of this. And then again, before I even started on all of that, it's the personal stuff. I learned, I did 4 or 5 years where I didn't look after myself, and I'm definitely not doing that anymore. But one thing that I didn't do as well is I was burning myself out from just not sleeping enough, and trying to get up at 3:30 in the morning and be 4 or 5 different places before 7 a.m. to try and get onto calls. But I also weren't eating, genuinely. Like, I nearly passed out the other day, which is not ideal. I have lost 15 kilo, but at the same time, it's definitely unhealthy. So I've got a meal prep company coming in, which is Prep Kitchen. So I'll do some reviews on what they're like and everything else on that front. But they're going to be doing 2 meals per day, evening meal, probably going to get back onto Ninja Creamers, and then that means that I've got no excuse. I've got 45 minutes more sleep in the morning. My mornings aren't as rushed, and obviously if you've followed me on Instagram, you'll kind of know that I'm, fingers crossed, hopefully going to be signing for my forever home soon, which is what I've basically worked for my entire life. But we need to sell our house first. But if I do get that, that's going to be mint, because I can do a video log of show me a crib. Oh my god, I don't know, that was it MTV Cribs or whatever it is. But yeah, my office is like in the garden if we do get this house. But if we do get that, my routine is going to be so much better, whereas at the moment it's just not in any way, shape or form. I don't enjoy my routine at the moment because I have to get up and be loads of different places, whereas I want to be able to have my office on the back garden. I want to have the ability to be able to walk the dogs on fields behind and work from home and eat from home and do everything from home, but still have more than enough space to not get in Stacey's way or Remy's way. And fingers crossed that's going to come together soon, which could be pretty wild, guys, because obviously I've been doing this for 12 years now, and it's been a long old journey to be able to turn around and say, almost getting to that point of having that dream home and having that forever home. So there's a lot of stuff what's going to be happening this year. So in terms of what to expect on these video logs, it's going to be just a case of updating on loads of different stuff that I'm doing. So for example, it might be how I'm planning an event, or it might be what I'm doing with my training at the moment, or whatever. But these are just pretty much for me to have fun with. Like this video here right now, I've actually enjoyed filming this video, genuinely. And I'm just going to continue doing it. So thanks for listening in. Video log 1, 2026. What we're focused on, planning your timeline out around your personal and professional, making sure you look after yourself, making sure you're eating food, KPI tracking, and making sure that your timetable actually represents the goals and things that you need to deliver on a week-to-week basis, guys. So yeah, catch you in a bit. See you on the next one.